evening, and you join us for highlights of a crucial Cardiff Works League Division 1 game between the BBC and NWIS. The BBC have come into this game on the back of 2 straight defeats, whereas NWIS have won 1 and lost 1. We've just heard the BBC starting lineup. Now let's go over to the stadium announcer to hear the NWIS team. And now the NWIS starting lineup. Number 1, Keith Howkins. Number 2, Hasib Fazili. Number 3, Aaron Marfell. Number 4 and captain, Dan Marfell. And number 5, Tariq Asayed. Dynaston, le grand des équipes, the champions. And NWIS have started well. It's Fazili. Oh, yes. Oh, that's a lovely ball through to Marfell, and the keeper saves. That's a great save to keep it at 0-0. And let's have another look at this. Oh, yes. They should rename the BBC to Saturn. Fazili's run so many rings around them there. This guy has got more tools in his box than Inspector Gadget. And the BBC said they would play NWIS off the park this afternoon, but so far the only chance they've got of stringing 3 consecutive passes together is if they went on Mastermind. But it's come through to Pervy Reasons, and it's 1-0 to the BBC against the run of play. Oh my God, this could be the biggest upset since I won Miss World. Let's have another look at this. The ball breaks to Pervy Reasons, and Howkins he's lying on the floor. What the hell is he doing? I tell you what, this guy is about as difficult to get past as Steve the security guard. And it's a free kick for the BBC. Oh, NWIS have gone to sleep here, probably listening to one of Howkins' stories, and it's off the piece of toast. Oh my goodness, it could so easily have been 2-0. And let's have a look at this again. NWIS have left Hubert Gubbins completely unmarked. He shoots, and it hits the inside of the post. Keeper had it covered. Marfell now wins the ball back for NWIS. He attacks the space. Marfell shoots, and it's in. It's 1-1. And I tell you what, that's the greatest long shot I've seen since I took my dinghy down the Thames and entered the boat race. That was out of the very top drawer. In fact, if you had a set of drawers and you took them to the top of the Empire State Building and put another set of drawers on top of them, then that goal would be out the top drawer of that set of drawers. That was marvellous. 1-1. It's Arthur Chunkle for the BBC, but he's robbed faster than the pedestrian on Riverside, and Aaron Marfell's through. Can he score? Oh, you bet your sweet ass he can. And Marfell's finishing is cooler than a cucumber in Idris Elba's fridge on setting 5 at the South Pole. And Aaron Marfell wins it back for NWIS. He plays the 1-2 with Fazili. Marfell puts the defender in a blender and he scores! And I tell you what, Marfell didn't just give the keeper the eyes there. He served them up to him on a silver platter with a big sprig of parsley on top and said, "Here you go, keeper. Take these eyes to the near post." And the keeper says, "I don't mind if I do, mate." And then Marfell just slots it into the far corner. Lovely stuff. And here we can see after the goal, Marfell wheels away in his trademark handcuff celebration in tribute to teammate Charla Passariello, who was arrested last week for parking a car illegally on the pavement. Before I let them kick off again, the ref wants to know who farted, and Dan Marfell and Howkins are quick to point the finger of blame at BBC striker. The BBC captain now has it on the edge of his own box. He tries fanning around with it, but Marfell robs him, and Marfell scores! It's 4-1 to NWIS. Surely game over now. And I tell you what, the BBC manager said before this game he was looking to end some NWIS careers in this match. Well, with defending like that, he better start planting some Class A drugs and hardcore porn in their kit bag, because that's the only chance he's got. That was shit. It's Howkins now with the ball. He has a go from all of 50 yards, and it's absolutely flown into the top corner. This is unbelievable. Howkins is delirious. This is the first goal he's ever scored in any form of football, including in the back garden with his dad when he was a kid and on computer games. Oh, he's so happy. What's the referee doing? The referee's checking VAR here. And oh my God, he's disallowed it. This is an absolute travesty. This is the biggest stitch-up involving the BBC since the Great British Sewing Bee. BBC pushing for a consolation. It's Eggy Flaggins into pervy reasons, and Hawkins makes himself big, which is easy to do when you're as fat as he is, and now he's trying running to the edge of his box, and that's a big mistake because he's absolutely knackered himself out, and he looks at his captain and says, "Please take me off, skipper," but he's forgotten they don't have any substitutes, the daft twat. It's Think Wankle now for the BBC. Marfell buys the dummy earlier than a Valley skill. He shoots it off Hawkins' big fat gut. And that's it. That's the final whistle. And it finishes BBC 1, NWIS 4. And I haven't seen that much shit from the BBC since Mrs. Brown's Boys.